Okay, we are live on YouTube and we'll soon be live on Twitch because that's how those systems work. I am Chloe and this is WordStitch, and I do have a guest for today.
Hello, I'm Natalia. Happy to be here.
Excellent. Natalia, what are you up to today?
I'm going to be working on my story about the faiths. So it's just an ongoing project for me. So I'm excited to kind of get back into it because I took a little bit of time away from it, but I am back and I am very excited because I want those two words, the end. I want them very badly.
You have not gotten that yet, right?
I have not. No, I have like all these writer friends and I'm feeling like a major slouch compared to everybody.
Everybody goes at their own pace. It's okay. My first novel, I started that. I had started it as a graphic novel and then never got anywhere because I'm not a good artist. Just go with that. And then I picked it up in probably 2005 to actually be like a novel. And that I did not finish until I believe 2012. So
okay,
it's always the longest.
Got it. I'm just going to take that as feel good about myself.
Yeah, you're doing great. No worries. I am working on edits for my fourth book in my Shifter series. I have done some edits. I have done some rewrites. I am doing edits again, and I am looking at another round of edits again before I get to proofreading, but that's okay. The book is terrible. That's the worst part. No. I swear my best books are the ones that I'm like, I did one edit pass, and I'm like, done. And then it's done. It just keeps getting slightly worse. Okay, so we have Devin here.
Oh, hey, Devin.
We have Rose here. We have Courtney, who waved and didn't mean to wave, but hello, Courtney, anyway. And we have Greg here. So hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. We will be doing our first sprint in just a couple minutes here. We'll do a short 5, and then a short 10, and then we'll see where we go from there. But everybody at home, also let us know what you're working on. I am curious. Natalia, it's been a while since you've been on here. How has your 2021 been so far?
It has been it's been going a-okay. I feel like this weight has been lifted off of my shoulders, just with lots of changes that have been going on.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like, is it fantabulous? Is that a word?
Yeah, I accept that.
Yeah, so I'm feeling really great.
We are writers. We make our own words. The other day, I used confidentist, and I was applauded for that. The context was in another group where there was a list of things that were considered to be milestones for beginner, confident beginner, intermediate, so forth and so on.
Okay.
Intermediate things I don't do, and a lot of people don't. So I was like, I guess we'll be the confidentest beginners ever because we're never going to hit that milestone. Paper piece. If you're under the age of 60, you probably have no interest in paper piecing.
I don't even know what that is.
For quilting, it's a type of quilting, but it can be cool, but it is a difficult technique, and it's really interesting. But most people who are doing more modern looking quilts are never going to paper piece. So, yeah. So CB is also on another stream right now. That's fine. Give us all the credits. I support that. It helps all of our numbers if you're on multiple streams at once. And you are prepping for nano events right now. I applaud your preparation because we have a couple months until then, and so I'm like, dick off, Nano. That's where I am right now.
I feel like I've been getting getting messages this past week from my nano region that they're ramping up to do something like really soon. So do you know what that's about? I haven't actually read the messages, so I have to.
No, it could be like a local thing. If not, the next event is in April. But I mean, who knows? Locally, they might be trying to do some sort of a rally. We're still on a no in-person meeting.
Right.
Like I literally just got that notification like 2 days ago that we are still not allowed to do in-person meetups, which I'm not arguing that, but so I don't know. Maybe they're just like, oh, I wonder if they're doing no, because it already happened. I was gonna say Gen No Edmo, but that's already happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to take a look and see.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Yeah, no, me too. I've been thinking about it, but I just I've been doing other things, and I just haven't taken a gander yet. Am I aging myself? I just said gander.
So Courtney and Greg both have similar sentiments. Courtney is not in the mood to write, but is going to do it anyways. 10K away from your January goal. I know it was 20K a few days ago, so you can do it. You got what, 30 days have September, April, June, and November. You got 7 days left. You can do it. Right. Did I do that math right? Yes, because counting today would be 7 days. Don't worry about me. And then Greg also didn't do anything today, but wants to finish chapter 2 today. I get it. I was telling Natalia before we started, I briefly lost 4 days of edits. We had a fuse blew. Courtney also heard about this already today. I had a fuse pop and briefly lost 4 days worth of edits in Scrivener. I was able to reclaim them, but it was a nightmare. We've got Jackie here. We've got Megan here. Camp Nano is absolutely a thing. It starts in April. And we've got Shadow here. Let's go ahead and do our first sprint. And then we'll go from there.
All right.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm also sleep deprived today. I had like insomnia has come back hard on me. So my brain also hasn't been working up to snuff today, and then I had a whole bunch of dumb things happen on top of it. All right. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Okay, that was time. There we go.
All right.
So I didn't get to do that much work because my mother texted me at the beginning of it asking me what her Wi-Fi password is.
Oh.
Thankfully, in the ensuing chaos that is always a 70-year-old woman attempting to do anything with a computer, she sent me a photograph of when I literally wrote the password down. Because I don't remember what happened, but I remember I had to go through hell to find it last time I was there, when I was there for that week and a half after I left Publix.
Right.
And so I wrote it down so it didn't happen again. And of course, she misread a 9 as a 0. So by dumb luck, she sent me a photo of it. I'm like, oh, that's a 9. What are you doing?
Right. I'm gonna be that. Like, I've already owned that when I am that age, because my mom's close to that age as well, and I already know so my kids are like, when I tell them, I was like, oh yeah, when he did this or whatever, I was like, be prepared, children.
Yeah, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
And my parents were always out of date my entire life. I remember having to like program the VCR and everything. But anyway, so I am editing right now and I am cutting words. I am always a word cutter in edits. Am I echoing? I might be echoing a bit on your end, or no?
I don't hear it, but I mean,
yeah, I don't. We'll keep going. I deleted 16 words, so not a major accomplishment, but I did a little bit of edit. How did you do, Natalia?
That's good. You know what? I am going to call it that I did fantastic.
You forgot how print work.
No, you know what it is? It's because, like, even though I haven't been, like, I'm just starting to write again this week from, I think November was the last time I actually sat down and wrote. So I'm just starting to write again this week. But what I did was I use the Notes app on my phone, and I just say, whenever something comes to me, like, I put it in there. So I just imported what I emailed myself, and I have 1,398 words. So even though I'm not, I haven't been writing, I do have almost, 1,400 words. So I'm happy about that.
Good.
So, because it's always easier for me to like expand when I have these like random musings and I put them in my phone and then I import them into a Word document, then, I can go from there. So, do you want me to put my headphones on? That's what I was getting out here. Like, will that help with
echo on your end? Yes. Okay. It's okay, but yeah.
Because I can't hear an echo at all. So, but
you wouldn't. It's because it's me echoing off of your computer. So
all right, can you hear me?
On your end. Speak
again. Okay, I am done. I'm on the headphones, and it's gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Perfect. Yeah. So, Shadow did also hear an echo, and Shadow has his food in the oven. We've been over this. I'm sorry, Shadow. I have forgotten. I've forgotten your pronoun. It's okay. I mean, it's okay on my end. I don't know if it's okay on your end. Her, I believe. And Greg did a bit of editing, and Courtney wrote 343 and only has 7K left to go. That is fantastic. Nice. Herb is here. Yeah. Welcome back, Herb. Good to see you again. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I just got a text from my mother confirming that it was the 0 that she read wrong and not another number. Like, just try it. Just literally try it. There were 3 numbers in the code. Shadow is a man. Okay. Sorry. I'm usually good at remembering these things.
You are. I'm always highly impressed when I come on and you and Sandy are like, oh, you start like having these like interesting conversations about like everybody who's on, and I'm like, oh, my brain.
Yeah. I'm usually good at retaining things, and again, I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. So everything is a mess in my brain, and then everything had to fight me today. But progress is being made. Also, Jackie is here, and Jackie got 469 on 10 minutes. Wow. And I disbelieve you, Jackie. No, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Maybe Jackie's doing that what is that? That 5,000 words in an hour? I don't know. There's some book or something that I started reading. Yeah, there's some book that I just started reading, and it's about how you get 5,000 words in 1 hour. I'm pretty sure that's the premise of it. I just started it, so.
You have a certification in courtroom stenography? I have no idea how else you could physically do that.
It's something. I had so I watched a video about the book, and the little bit that I got from the snippet was that it's all about the planning. That if you write a detailed outline about what it is that you're going to do next, then you just from that outline, it's kind of like what I have with my Word document. My Word document with all the little snippets of info is my outline, and then I go from there. And then apparently it also involves dictation, because I don't know if anybody can type that fast.
Yeah, I was just about to do that math. That is 83 words per minute. And while I know that is a reasonable word count to expect of people, I'm not that high, but I'm not a fantastic typist. I know people who can't type that fast. I don't know that anybody can type that fast for 60 straight minutes.
Yeah, no, I don't. My fingers would fall off. Now I gotta look up the book now, just because I'm curious what it is. I know it's 5,000 something.
Oh,
it might be 5,000 in a day.
I feel like this could be because I'm watching the HBO special on Nixium, but now I'm like, it's probably some jacked up cult thing.
Oh gosh, no, it's right there. Where are you? Oh, I hope I don't have any adult books out there.
5,000 words per hour. Adult book.
And that's a really good book, everybody, by the way. If you like a man worth shaving for.
Oh my God.
That's it's an indie author, so gotta support. Actually, I think somehow they're connected to a podcast in some way. And just for fun, they were talking about the book on the podcast. And I was like, oh, that sounds like that'd be fun. And I really liked the book.
I've definitely through Jess Michaels' podcast, I have picked up my fair share of writers that way as well.
Oh, good.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead and set this next timer for 25 minutes. It is 25 past. So we'll see you guys at 10 of, and we'll keep talking about this insane goal right here. Okay, we are back. There we go. Hey, Natalie.
Alrighty.
I'll tell you, how did that go for you?
It went well. I actually started, instead of doing my writing, which I know I need to do that. I had to all the O word is coming up. I had to organize my writing stuff. Sorry,
I mean, I get it if you haven't been writing for a while.
I haven't.
There's always that first sprint of like, I just have to figure out what my life is right now.
Right. Well, my problem is that several months ago, when I actually finally made the jump and I purchased an online syncing software, like I was in the process, I'd set it up so that way every single document that I had would sync. But in the upload, I don't know if it was just because I have like a gazillion documents. I think it crashed. So my whole computer crashed. I had to reset. So right now, like I'm afraid to touch my writing stuff right now before I get it all synced up, in case I accidentally delete something that I should not delete. So that is what I'm doing. So, but this next sprint, I'll go and I'll work on my document. I just transferred over.
I had that drive die back over Christmas that I keep like thinking about everything that was on there and just reminding myself like it's okay, I didn't need any of that. But also, like, it's so depressing losing tons of stuff. So,
right.
And thankfully, it was more like, I mean, there were a couple of old projects of mine that I wasn't sure I was ever going to go back to, but most of it was like movies and pictures and stuff like that. And I'm honestly like, I was probably never going to look at those pictures again. Like, I don't, we just have, I don't know, but.
This is what I like in it too. It's kind of like why, and I'm stereotyping here, but it's kind of like women have more than one or two pair of shoes. Like guys, they can get away with having a few pair of shoes, but we like having options, and we don't like it when our options are taken away. So yeah. But anyway, so now you don't have that option to go back. So it's sad.
I feel like it's also, men are pretty much always wearing pants. I mean, they might be short pants, as in shorts, but you need dress shoes and you need like work shoes. So yeah. Anyways, I did delete 209. I found 2 chunks that I absolutely did not like in this chapter, so that was good. I finished the scene, started a new one, and let's see. Going back to that like previous topic of 5,000 words in an hour. Greg said, I cannot imagine that you would get high quality words if you did 5,000 in an hour. I'm assuming it's got to be. I mean, some of them will definitely be usable, but I feel like if anything, it's more like outlining or like this is what's happening now. It's more telling, not showing.
Well, it's like his whole okay, so again, this is with a grain of salt because I haven't read the entire book. This is just based on what the video was that made me get the book. Like his whole premise is that you go and you do all of the work, like the outlining work, before you start writing. And then when you sit down and you start writing or dictating, because he dictates, he says that you do not stop for anything. You just go, go, go. Because I think that the whole point is that you go and you get the first draft just to be absolutely done with the first draft. And then you go back and you do all of your revisions. So you do absolutely no revisions as you're going along. So I think that's the way he does it. And apparently he's written several books. I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet.
That goes to Greg's second comment. If you need to prep, it really takes you longer than an hour. I agree with that. Depending on like how you write, it can be worthwhile. I do outline in advance, and I feel like the 2 days that I spend outlining is absolutely worth it. So not knocking pre-writing, but it is a little bit false
His title.
You're writing 5,000 words in an hour because you had to prep it. That's like saying that you cook dinner in 10 minutes because you just spent 3 hours chopping up your ingredients and like putting together a roux and everything else.
Hey, look.
Just to put it in the pot, it only took 10 minutes.
Right. As I did my meal prep today, by the way, I'm trying to see. Oh, dang. I'm like half blind. Right. I'm trying to see if he has a subtitle. It just says write faster, write smarter.
Okay.
Like if his subtitle was like, as long as you put in 2 hours of work ahead of time.
A little asterisk after the title.
I mean, he does say in the book that you have to put the work in ahead of time. But I think that the whole thing is that, and I'm just making assumptions based on what seems like logical, was like, it has to be that, once you do the outlining, it comes easier. And I mean, like, I'm speaking just for myself now. I know that I am not a pantser. I have tried to be a pantser, and I'm just not one. It doesn't. But I'm not like an uber outliner either. I'm kind of like in between. If I can kind of like just compile my chaotic thoughts and then kind of make those into a little bit of an outline, but then you expand on that. Yeah, but anyway.
So during that 25-minute, Greg did more editing and added 165 words. Jackie wrote 1,182 words. Fantastic. I already know the end result on this. Don't worry, there's a happy ending. Herb wrote 830 on a blog post, and Courtney managed to save that 700 words that he kind of sort of lost. So I see that you are having a similar day to what I am having. This day is just a whole bunch of close saves, or like doing things that waste a whole bunch of time, but at least net zero instead of netting negative.
Right. But doesn't it, like you were saying that you had deleted a bunch of stuff. Does it feel good to delete? Like, I'm not at that stage yet in my writing. Like, I want to keep everything I write almost.
So for me, it does. And I know some people do with their rough drafts do tend to be more, I guess it's that they're more tellers than showers. So they take the edits to show. But for me, I pretty much have everything completely written out. And then it's just like getting rid of the things that it took me too many words to say. And so for me, like if it is an extra word, I want it gone. There's no reason that I want this manuscript to be 100,000 words when it's a story that can be told in 60,000 words. Mm-hmm. So, and I never have like that big of a discrepancy, but like this one also, this is the 4th book in the series, and I knew that this one was going to run way longer than the other ones. I knew that going into it, but the first book in the series is 25,000, I believe, and this one is at 67,000. So whatever I can do to rein that in, I need to do.
Got it. So what's the name of this series? Because I haven't read your Shifter series.
This is Third Shift is what it's called.
Third Shift? Okay.
Yes. And yeah, this will be the end of it. I have it set up so that there can be a companion series. If I ever do it, I don't know.
I feel like that's part of the fun, though. Like, I have all these thoughts. Like, I haven't even finished my first novel, and I already have these spin-off series in my mind.
I'm just looking forward to the day where I can put this in a box set, because apparently box sets help sales. And the way the box sets work, I really can't bring myself to doing it with Candy for Demons yet. Because I will take such a hit selling them as a box set versus selling them as individual books. So
is that just because you like drop you give a discount of, I don't know, usually it's like $1 off, or like, is it the royalty rate? Or?
No. So those books are all priced at $4, $3.99, which makes the 4 of them $16 if somebody buys the entire set. With Amazon, you get 70% royalties between $2.99 and $9.99. And then outside of that range, I believe it is 35%. So I have to either sell it for $10, which is insane, off of $16,
Right.
me at least, or I sell it for like where I would have put it, which would have been like $12 or $13, but I end up actually getting less money on the royalties.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah,
Huh,
it
okay.
is unfortunate. I might, when I get the 2 novellas that go with the series, when I get them written up, I might sell it in 2 parts. Like I might do a box set 1 and a box set 2, and each of them has a novella and 2 novels in it. Novels,
Got it.
but I'm not going to put all 4 novels into a box set while I am still at least able to sell them for
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make any
price.
sense financially.
Yeah.
So, and because you're exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Or you're okay. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, like just yesterday, I sold 2 sets of them, which isn't, I mean, obviously I'm not raking in the dough by any means, but yesterday 2 people were like, yes, $16, I will buy all of these books sight unseen, maybe downloaded a sample or whatever. But yeah,
well, I love that series. So
thank you.
I think that was a very wise purchase on their part. So yeah, I love that series. I haven't finished it, but I think I've read 3 of them. So
you've read Halloween.
I don't remember. I think I read them like close to when they came out because Sandy
that's
told me
right.
about
That's right. You were
Sandy
reading them
told
back
me
in
about
October. Yeah.
Yeah, I read stuff a while ago. And yeah, as soon as I read that first one, I was like, yes, I gotta do this. So, gotta get the next one. Which is good because that's what you want as a writer.
Exactly.
I feel like. So anyway.
Absolutely. I just got to figure out how to sell them in the off season. I probably need to recover them yet again at some point, but I love those covers, so I'm going to finish it, and I'm at least going to have like a set of them for my own personal library with that cover before I recover them again. Anyways, let's go ahead and do our 30-minute. It is 3 past, so we'll be back at 33 past. Okay, we are back. I finished the scene, a little bit more of another, and I deleted 131 words, so I'm feeling good about that. I'm gonna get this under 67. I'd really like to get this under 65. Because I'm gonna have to add some stuff afterward. The beginning is weak, so hopefully I can get under 65, and then that little bit I have to add won't mess it up. Were you able to get some work done, Natalia?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still actually. I went to my document that I had my writing stuff, but I don't know about you, but like when I'm not organized, I get totally stressed out and I can't write. So I'm just going to reconcile this today. I'm going to take the rest of the day and I'm going to transfer over all of my documents, because every time I go, like, I don't even know where to save it, basically, because if I save the document that I just created, how am I going to remember where I saved it? So that's what I'm doing that right now.
I have to have spreadsheets. Like, I just have spreadsheets anyways for all of my series, and I have to like plug all of the notes that I write myself into those spreadsheets as I go along. And if I've got any of those notes floating around, I have to get them put into the spreadsheet before I do anything that day. So I get it.
Right. Yeah. So do you, like, in your organization, like, because like what I do is, I have a folder that's writing, and then each of my projects, like my Fates series, I'll label a folder Fates, and then I have a folder for book one, and then, so I have all these subfolders, and I know some people who I've spoken with, they're like, oh my gosh, it's too much. But like, I have to have everything like organized, because then if, like, I feel like it muddies the waters if I were to open just one folder and I had to look at all of those documents in one folder. It would just like make my brain go haywire.
I don't have that issue. But one of the programs that I'm using, so like Scrivener makes its own folders. And pretty much all of the novel writing programs make their own folders, or they are run through Google Docs. So that's its own folder as well. So that I don't have to worry too much about it. But when I pull up older stuff, like if I have to like edit back matter or like reformat or whatever on, say, the first book of this series, then I do get a little stressed out, because I do have all of the, at that point, like all of the photos I downloaded for the cover, all of the forms of the cover, like I get it at that point. And there's always a moment where I'm like, I just need to get rid of these things that I know that I don't need anymore, because they're like old versions of it. But
right. Right. As you say that, I'm transferring over my stuff and I'm like, do I really need, like, I mean, when I say I probably have 50,000 documents on my computer, that is not an exaggeration. But that's because I'm a mom. I've done volunteer work, I've done book work, I had my employment that I did, we have real estate properties, the household. I mean, 50,000 is probably like an underestimation. I'm going to be interested to see, like, once I get everything compiled, I'm going to just go and look and see what that crazy number is, just for my own curiosity. So then I can just, like, do the virtual slap in the face and say, get over it, girly, and delete. But I can't delete right now because I'm like worried that what if I,
you need to like compile and zip.
Right. And then I'm going to worry about, like, I'm going to get everything transferred over, and then I'm going to worry about writing my book. And then I'm going to go and look at the documents. Like,
you to do. Is that going to happen? I doubt it, but that's what I want you to do.
You've been talking to Sandy too. No, actually, it's just you've been talking to me too.
Yes.
No, yes. I have full confidence in my ability to do this.
Sandra doesn't need to rat you out. I picked this stuff up on my own.
No, I know I write myself out just by speaking. But that being said, I had every intention of having my first draft done by the end of last year. But, unavoidable circumstances hit. We had a couple of deaths in the family, and then my life became haywire, and then now I'm just kind of like recovering from all of that chaos and sadness. I mean, quite frankly, I was kind of like, I was a wreck for a while because it was my grandma who passed away, and she, I have the same name as her, so I don't know, I was a wreck.
And I'm sure you also had a lot of anger because of the circumstances around that. I was furious for you. Right. I was about to say I'd be furious if I was in your situation, but I was furious about that. And I had another friend who lost his father the same way, just right. People being dumb anyway. Right. So during that sprint, Herb got 365, but he started 10 minutes late, so that's fantastic. And Greg spent literally 20 minutes trying to figure out what your main character would hold in his hand while swearing an oath. I feel that one of the things one of my little secret tips for NaNoWriMo is in advance of NaNoWriMo beginning to compile lists of things like that, things that you're going to need along the way, whether it's, for me, it's if I'm writing a baker character that I need a list of things that she's going to bake, or if I'm writing an assassin, I need ways to kill people. These things that are going to come up multiple times that I don't want to get stuck on. I want to just have a list and say, okay, she's baking eclairs today, or she's garroting that guy, whatever.
Oh my gosh. I love that word. I don't know what it is, but
I love that word as well.
It's creepy and scary, and it just makes me think of all these horrible things, but oh my gosh, it's a fabulous word. Yes.
So I do make it a point to include that when I do have assassin characters.
Got it. See, I do that too.
I've never actually had my bakers bake eclairs, which is weird because I've had them bake so many things. So maybe next time I'm in that situation, Clara will bake eclairs. And then Dia Rob is way too distracted to write tonight. I get it. I'm doing better now, but I was definitely having a rough day. And Sonia got 846 words. Fantastic. I also I keep getting distracted by that conversation with my mother right now. Because the other thing with her, I don't know if the rest of y'all experience this with your elderly relatives, but how say your friend asks you for your Netflix password and you give them the password and they come back and they're like, it doesn't work. And so you give them another password and they're like, okay, that worked. And that entire exchange takes 2 minutes from the starting point. From obviously there might be a delay between what is the password and this is the password. But then once the ball is rolling, it's a quick thing. No, this thing with my mother trying to figure out the password for her Wi-Fi is it turned into a 20-minute exchange that I don't know what she was doing in between, but this happens every single time. It'll be hours trying to figure this stuff out because it takes her 45 minutes to respond to me.
Got it. Okay. Okay, we're gonna take that as a really, really good sign, and that she is living a full life, and she's off doing fun things in between. She can't be bothered with worrying about a password. It's not all that important, right?
I mean, in all fairness, she's probably just drinking, but that's okay.
Cocktail party. Oh my gosh.
She's probably drinking, and she's probably yelling at my dad to take care of it. And my dad probably has his hearing aids turned off. So they're just yelling back and forth. He's probably put the password in like 10 times by now. Every single time, like, oh, did I put it in wrong?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, parents. And I don't know. I mean, I'm 40, and I kind of expected there to be a time where I didn't feel this way anymore, or like very briefly at least before like senility comes into play. They're not senile at all, and yet there's never been a moment where I haven't been like, what is wrong with my parents?
I almost feel like that's like, it's a little bit part about being a kid. I mean, because
Yeah.
I see that just with my kids. I mean, they know that I'm smart. They know that I have good analytical ability. I'm creative. Yada yada yada. But there's always that undercurrent, like when I say something, where you just kind of like get that side eye, and they're like, "Oh yeah, uh-huh." And I know what's going through their minds because it has gone through my mind related to my parents.
Yeah.
Just know. Oh my gosh. Oh well. But they love us and we love our parents. So
There you go. There you go. I only have that is oh god, there we go. That is one of my two children. And that'll be it for me. So I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I don't I mean, I guess I do also remember when I was younger, when I was like 20, looking at my parents trying to take care of their parents, being like, what? And the name of all that is holy is happening down this line. So I guess if I did have kids, that is exactly the situation that would be going on.
right.
Except that, like, I do know how to TikTok.
Hey, there's a lot of grannies on TikTok. Let me tell you.
That's the other thing, is that like maybe it just wouldn't ever happen because I really am pretty capable of handling myself with technology. Like I can't imagine what would be going on right now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe kids are able to handle like every single model of cell phone these days.
Right.
Because I know if you hand me an iPhone, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve switching between the Android and the iPhone.
And like if I had my phone to somebody my age who has an iPhone, they would have the same response to it. So maybe that's what 20-year-olds are good at that I'm not.
See, and now as you're saying that, my husband, so it's my mother-in-law's birthday weekend. Actually, today's her birthday. And we got her an iPhone for Christmas.
Mhm.
So my sister-in-law said help her set it up. But Ma has just been like so resistant to using it. She had an Android before.
Mhm.
And so he drove, it's it's 13 hours driving plus stops. So he split it up over 2 days and he drove out there because she's not using her cell phone. So for her birthday, he drove to Chicago, whatever, over 2 days, setting up her phone and is on his way home now. And it's going to take him 2 days to get home.
With
because he's working during the day also.
phones, whatever is on sale. I prefer LGs. I like the one time in the last 15 years I got something that wasn't an LG. It broke, which was totally my fault. But I still have that like bad experience. The one time I got, I think it was a Samsung. Right. So like just the superstition. But anyways, so pretty much every time I get a phone, I see which of the LGs has like a good deal going on with it, and I get my mother the exact same phone.
Oh,
and that way,
smart.
No matter what is going on, I can fix her damn phone.
Right.
And then Dad has to like get whatever he feels like getting, even though he's bad at phones too. But whatever.
Got it. Okay.
So we are gonna do our last sprint. It is a 10-minute. If I can find the timer, there we go. We're going to go for 10 minutes. It is 47 past. So we'll see you guys at 3 of the hour for final words.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, it's literally on like the last sentence of that scene.
Alrighty.
So I finished that scene, deleted another 43 words. I got down to 67,279. Feeling good about that.
Nice.
What'd you end up doing there, Natalia?
Just transferring more. I think I am probably about 50% done with the file transfer. So that's good, which means because I was checking my calendar and I think I'm co-hosting with you maybe next week or the week after that.
You are on the schedule for next week.
Okay, so then that means next week I will be writing. So
yeah.
I'll have all my stuff. You know, there will be nothing else that is like mentally blocking me and causing me major stress for fear of
Sandy. So we should have Sandy next week. So just put it out there. If you lie to me right now and you come back next week and you're like, oh, I mean, I need to organize again.
No.
It's not me you're going to have to answer to. It's Sandy.
She's evil.
I mean,
she's like a little scary. No. I will be writing 100%. I know that. I have said it.
She's not dealing with your shit right now, Natalia.
You know, what can I say? I mean, my brain, unless, like, it's kind of like one of those things that if I know that I am potentially going to lose my work, like there's nothing that will let my body say, oh, just do it anyway, when I could potentially lose it. Because I'm one of those people who I have the idea and then it has to come out or it has to get written down because I will forget it. I mean, there's no other way around it. So that's the hesitance.
I think it was 2 nights ago I had something that I literally, like, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and was like, I need to do this. And guess what? I never did it. I have no idea what it was. Like, I know it was a plot point, but I have so many plot points that way. So I get it. And
it totally sucks. Yeah, I've woken my husband up at night.
But
yeah, so, but, oh well. No, but my husband, he's actually very, very nice. Like, I think he just knows already that at any given time he can turn over and there'll be like this, you know, bright light coming from my phone because I'm like typing into my phone at night. So yeah, he hasn't kicked me out of the bedroom as of yet. I don't know if he would kick himself out, but
I can't do those notes on my phone usually, unless if it is something that I can put directly into that spreadsheet. I do have them all accessible on my phone, but like if it's something else that's not going into that spreadsheet, then I have to put it on paper or it doesn't work. Also, really quick, Greg asks, I got distracted during the last sprint. Chloe, do you have any thoughts on my final chapter, on this first chapter? I did a proofread for him. Greg, I thought it was really solid. I know that the notes for the first page are always like terrifying because it makes it look like everything is a disaster. Anybody in this room who has gone through like professional editing and proofreading and all that will say the same. The first page is always a nightmare. So like all of the notes there did not indicate there was anything wrong with it. Overall, the draft was solid. The one thing I did forget to mention to you though, is that I could not really get a good handle on how old the main character is. So you might want to put some sort of a note in there just because like I could have argued that he was 6 or 15. So that was the one thing that, or like I kind of placed him like a Harry Potter. What was Harry Potter? 11? That was his 11th birthday.
Is that right? 11. Yeah. Cause I think he was turning 12, right? When they went to the wintry cabin.
Right. Yeah. So that was like the one thing that I did mean to tell you that I did not say, but overall I liked it. I like the concept. I like almost it's just putting it out there for everybody listening to this right now. It's Greg is utilizing I can't speak, excuse me. He's utilizing Esperanto in it. So at the end of it, you know, there's just a couple words of Esperanto spoken throughout the chapter. And at the very end of it, the main character has this like, it's time to go to bed. And I'm thinking about all the words that I've learned. And there's like a little vocab thing. And I thought that was delightful because it reminded me of like being young and having those. Remember those in the old textbooks where you would get to the end of the story and there would be like all of those words that were bold and you didn't know what they meant at the time?
Yes.
And then at the end, like if you couldn't figure out your context clues, there it was at the end, like, thank you, because I couldn't figure out what that dang thing was. I had that feel to it, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah, no, those are nice. I always love those. And I was reading the what do you call it? It's the vampires as a race series.
What?
Oh God.
There's so many vampire series.
Right. No,
I need more words than that. Oh, the character is 16. Perfect. And that was important. I was gonna say, and then Natalia. Oh yeah, Black Dagger Brotherhood.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Threw me just slightly off, but like where my concern was that readers might think he is that like 8 to 11 range of Harry Potter, young at the beginning, and then like stuff that happens to a 17, 18-year-old happens to this very young boy. And it's, so that was the one thing. And you can slip that in really easily, like going through like the adopted mother thinking about how long she had him for or something like that. You don't need to be super explicit, just like give some sort of age indication for him. Natalia, what you were saying about Black Dagger Brotherhood. I'm so mad that Melanie is not here to join in on the BB conversation. Anyways, go.
That's right. So I was saying that the way she has done hers is that, she does hers in the beginning. And I was thinking about that and I was like, man, if anybody is in KU, that is so smart to put that in the beginning because you have to get through that and then there's no way for people to get past it. Or is there a bypass?
Here's the issue with that is that depending on how it is put in, so I've only ever read her books through Overdrive, which is the library app.
Me too. Yeah.
It depends on the book, but some books in Amazon, they start on like wherever it says chapter 1, Amazon automatically goes to that. But the flip side of that, and I don't know if that's the case for that or not, but the flip side of that is for her books, I thought most of those words were like really dumb and unnecessary anyway.
She does have a very interesting vocabulary.
I wish she utilized that vocabulary. And instead there are like a couple of words that you see so often. Like we all know that doggin is their like little servant buddies. And like I know there's Jesus, I can't even remember any of the terms, but like what Z named their daughter is a term of endearment. Like there are those terms that you see.
Is it Nala? N-A-L-A? Is that what? Okay. Oh my gosh, I've memorized the vocab.
Right. But it's just that if I had read one in the last month, I would know all of this stuff. Oh, Devin, Greg is writing in like post-apocalyptic, so there are no driver's licenses. I don't know about Sweet 16 parties. But so if she utilized that vocabulary, all of it, there were things about, I remember like if you owed somebody a life debt, there's a word for that and stuff like that. And we see all those things like one time. And it makes me sad because like I love one of the funny things about Greg sending me what he sent me without any prior knowledge of this is I love conlang. I don't write anything that I can really justify having a lot of conlang, but I love it because
I don't even know what that is.
Constructed languages. It's making your own language. And my concentration in college for my English degree was on mechanics. So that is 100% my jam. I love when authors utilize it. I love seeing how they do it. So they explain it. I do actually have one where I do have a good amount of conlang in it, but anyways, so that was like one of the things that disappointed me with Black Dagger Brotherhood is that right from the beginning, you see that great big list of words and then they're never really utilized in it.
Right. Yeah, they don't, I mean, they don't, like, even, is it the Wraith, or, like, you know, when you offend somebody and they owe you a Wraith or something,
There's
I think.
one time in book 2 that happened, yeah.
Right.
And
I feel like that's something, they should be
and
using that all the time, left and right. I mean, they've got, like, all these guys living
I don't
together.
know, like, why is this conversation happening again? But the funny thing with that was that, like, what the character did in order, basically, it was a punishment for something that he had done wrong to the king, is what this thing was that he owed the king. And I believe he was, like, flayed with a spiked cat o' nine or something like that. Like, he was trashed from whatever this thing was. But, like, it was a fairly mild offense in comparison to all of the shit that has happened since then. And this never happens again.
Right. Yeah. And that's so, like, as I've read along, I just kind of felt like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the books, they're good. But I got this one. I don't even know what this maybe is, like number 13 or something.
That's the companion series. That's her Academy series.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever the one that was that I ended up, like, before, I stopped there because I've had this on my shelf over there probably at least for 2 or 3 weeks, and I haven't even picked it up yet. Because I kind of feel like, I don't know, like the story, like maybe the robustness of the story. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
also really quickly, in case anybody is thinking we're going to go into another sprint, we're actually done. I don't want you guys to be like listening to this goddamn conversation yet again, waiting for words to happen when they're not going to happen.
Right. Yes. Tangents.
I don't know what it is either with that series. For me, part of it is like, you know how, like, when you hate somebody, you might still be their Facebook friend so you can see every dumb effing thing that person does. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure we all have done it, not necessarily with Facebook, but like.
Yes, I have someone on there.
Yeah. I did too until she unfriended me, and I don't even know why, because like I deliberately never did anything. So that it must have been something that I said on my page that had nothing to do with her, but she was like, oh, she actually believes that vaccines are good.
Right.
And that 5G is not going to zap our brains or whatever the hell dumb shit. Anyway, the 5G was not going to give us coronavirus. Anyway. So that's kind of why I continue to read Black Dagger Brotherhood, because if nothing else, every single time I read one, I have a list of like 6 friends that I get to spend a half hour with, just telling them the dumb ass effing shit that happened in this book. Thank you, Devin, for posting more sprints that other people can go to. The other thing is that this series, it is romance, and it is in most of these really long extended romances. Each book follows a different character.
Right.
It's like each book is a different character's romantic plot or romantic arc. I only care about one character at this point, and he hasn't had his story yet. But unfortunately, I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm 100% positive his story is going to be the final book in this series.
Right.
Unless, you know, she writes it as the final book and then is like, I'm going to write more because I need more money. So,
like, who? I mean, they keep adding, because I think where I left off, there was like another group of people. Who?
Lassiter. Lassiter is absolutely going to be the last.
Oh, the angel. Wait, that's the angel, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, which, yeah.
And everything that's happened to him in the recent books has indicated that his is going to be the final story, because he's basically been elevated to a god character at this point.
Right.
So anything that comes after him would just be like verse spinoffs.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she'll go into like the kids. you know.
That's what Larissa Ionia is doing now, and I'm not here for it. I love all of her books. I am not here for like, oh, I remember when you popped out in like book 3, you're the offspring of book 1, and then you popped out in like book 3, and now you're banging somebody. I'm not okay with that.
Right. Oh, come on now. You don't reconcile those images.
I don't care. That's the reason that I stopped reading Gina Showalter.
Like what, her Lords of the Underworld series? Yeah. Or the only series that I've read, and I haven't finished it.
The Gilly, was that her name? Jilly?
Yeah, Gilly. Yeah, they call her. I'm going to call her Gilly. Jilly. Yeah.
Yeah. Her plot line where
she's the old demon, right? Oh no, that's the girl that was the friend of one of the wives.
That's the one that they were doing the countdown to 18 for. Ended up with Puck, I believe it was.
I don't think I got to that book because I remember that character name, but like
that would have been. Oh geez, that book would have come out a year, maybe 2 ago. It's one of the more recent ones in the series.
Okay, yeah, I haven't read
like 1 or 2 since then. But that's where I stopped reading, and she basically turned 18, and then William was going to marry her. William is also a god character. He's like Satan's brother or something like that. If
right. Yes.
And yet he's waiting for this 17-year-old girl to come of age, which doesn't even make any sense. I'm sorry not to like remove American ideals from it, but like I seriously doubt hell has an age of consent of 18 anyway. Like it was already really messed up because we met her when she was like 15, and then all this happened, and then I feel like Showalter tried to make this better by aging her up like 500 years, putting her in like another land where she wouldn't die, but she'd also experience like 500 years in a week or something like that. But I was, no.
Oh my God. That's what Karen Marie Moaning did with the Fever series with one of her characters. Have you read any of her books?
That was valid. That was valid because he still ended up with like a human chick that was like 30 or whatever. Even though he had lived for 500 years as like the beast in his cavern.
Yeah, I always wonder about that. Like, you know, even when
penthouse cavern.
Are you talking about the love interest for Danny?
I don't remember. It's been years since I read that series, so I don't remember that. I just remember their whole voyage of like her being his apprentice or something, her being an art curator or something, and having to go get something from him, and they fall in love and they end up going back to his old place, and it turns out that his brother and sister-in-law are still alive and well 500 years later, and he had no idea the entire time.
I haven't gotten to that one. I haven't read that whole series either. I think I'm down 2 books. I think I have to get. So
I loved every second of that series. Just putting it out there. That is Into the Highland Mist. That is Karen Marie Moaning's.
No wonder I don't know what you're talking about because I'm talking about her other series.
You're talking about Fever.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't read Fever. Fever is her vampire series. I am so sorry.
No vampires. It's a different creature. I don't know what.
They're not vampires?
No, they're not vampires.
They're vampires. Oh.
They are. They do shapeshift, but they're shifters,
okay.
But they're like creature shifters, not like a creature in reality or dragons aren't reality.
Yeah, got it. No, I highly recommend Into the Highland Mist from her for her time travel romance. And it is top tier time travel romance. And I read a lot of it and I hate almost all of it. So that's saying a lot. Okay. I want to love it. And most of it sucks, but not Karen Marie Moaning.
Right, yeah, no. I like her. She's one of my go-to, like when I can remember the name of an author, like I remember your name. So, but I have a hard time remembering. Like if I pick up a book that I read, whatever, 3 weeks ago, I will not remember the author name. I don't know what it is. Unless I really like the book, I just can't. It's kind of like that. I only have 1 bushel of space in my brain.
Yeah.
So once the bushel gets filled, something's got to go.
I don't remember your name until I sign up for your newsletter. And that takes a lot for me to sign up for a newsletter. It is absolutely nothing personal, but like, that is it. When I get to the point where I'm like, no, actually, I do 100% need to know when your next book comes out. Or if there is something that's like, I love the book, but there's something catastrophically wrong with it. Like for some reason, there are some authors who like, I hate the genre that they write, but I still love them, and their names I'll remember as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyways, we should probably get out of here and let everybody go off on their actual projects.
It's only been 18 minutes.
Yeah, we did that thing where we ran over.
Thank you, everyone, for letting us ramble.
It happens. Again, I just wish Melanie was here to jump in on this because she loves talking shit on BDB with me.
Gosh, okay.
Anyways, any final notes from you? Are you doing any streams this week? What is your
I'm not going to do any streams this week. Next week, I will do a stream on Monday next week. Just because, again, it was just all related to my feeling, that sense of overwhelm with my documents and not knowing where things are, and worried about, if I save this document with today's date, am I potentially going to lose the true document that has an older date? Because I'm going to be like, oh, well, this is a later date, so this has got to be the real one. So until this week, when I get that fixed, yeah. But anyway, so I will be doing, but I do sprints. Like I don't like, that's just on YouTube. I do sprinting because I do Zoom sprinting, and I do those Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning as well. So, but I don't know if I'm going to do the morning ones. I'm kind of feeling like the morning ones, I kind of want to come back to YouTube and kind of like jump on other people's sprints as well. So
I've been bouncing around between YouTube and Twitch lately. So for me, I've got my usual. I will actually not be on Wednesday this week because I'm going out to dinner. I've got it on the schedule. I think I need to remove it. But I've got my usual Tuesday and Friday at 8 a.m., Thursday at 10 a.m. But I've also been on Twitch. The link is below. And I've been doing gaming and writing in the afternoons. I usually hop on around between noon and 2. So that's what I've been up to lately.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, I have to see. Maybe I'll have to check in just to verify the times, but I may be able to do Thursdays, because you said Thursdays is at 10?
Thursdays is at 10, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I can't get on anything. 9 o'clock is pushing it. I'm bringing my breakfast to the table with me while I'm writing, just because I do my whole physical therapy routine in the morning and stuff, and by the time I shower and
yeah.
It's 9 o'clock.
I am still holding that first cup of coffee at 8 o'clock in the morning, praying that will make magic out of my brain.
Right.
All right. Well, we are going to go, guys. You all have a great evening. Hopefully we'll see you later this week. If not, we'll be back next week. We should also have Sandy next week. So in the meantime, happy writing, everybody. Bye.